Okay, so Modern Warfare 2022 has been out for a few months now, and if you played the campaign thoroughly, you'd recognize the name Makarov right off the bat. This man is arguably the most dangerous Call of Duty character ever in the franchise, and if you played the OG Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 games back from 2009 and 2011, it's not hard to understand why. Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 is Makarov's official debut into the franchise, but his origins trace back even further to the Call of Duty 4 storyline. This guy was an absolute menace, initiating World War III and actually almost winning it all by himself. But what is it about this guy that makes him so interesting? I'm glad you asked, because since he was referenced at the end of Modern Warfare 2022, it's likely that going forward, he's going to be the next main villain. Now, the details surrounding this version of Makarov may be a bit different since this is a new universe with a different order of events, so we're just going to use the old trilogy as a base to dissect what we know about Makarov and use some details as minor hints as to where the newer version of Makarov will be going forward. Now, the thing that's most interesting about Makarov is his pure hatred for America and everything that it stands for, but I think it goes a little deeper than that. Now, before I continue, this is impressive, alright? This man plotted out World War III years ahead of time while he was still working in the shadows. We see this in Modern Warfare 3, where Yuri reveals that the nuke explosion that happened in Call of Duty 4 wasn't because of Khalid al-Assad like we originally thought. This was the work of Makarov, and not only did he plot this out while still being relatively unknown to the world at the time, he also had the perfect plan for starting World War III with the No Russian mission. He was the reason Imran Zakhaev got away despite almost dying to then Lieutenant Price, and he was the reason Price ended up being locked up in the Gulag for years at that time. Let's also remember that it was Price who led the operation with finding and killing Makarov in Operation Kingfish, and it was also Makarov who kidnapped both the Russian president and the president's daughter just to get what he wants. This man was literally willing to go through anything to achieve his ultimate objective, and his goal was to reform the Soviet Union at the end of the day. His reasoning traces back to its collapse and realizing America won the Cold War in 1991. This obviously planted the seeds for his hatred for America and all that it stood for. However, I don't think that he hates America, he hates the entire world, with America being the prime example why. He truly was a Russian patriot and wanted nothing but the best for his home country of Russia, and seeing American influence all over the world made him hate everything he saw because it didn't align with his own vision for the world. A world ruled by Russia's archenemy America disgusted him, and the longer he was surrounded by it, the more eager he was in completing his mission. This is likely what led to him getting discharged by the Russian military as they saw his solutions and actions were seen as too violent. It wouldn't surprise me if he grew disgusted even at Russia for going soft after the Soviet Union's collapse, and then resorted to carrying out his objective all on his own. This must be when he met Imran Zakhaev, who shared his ideals and wanted to take over the Russian government on his own as well. Unlike Makarov, Zakhaev had connections and was able to kick off the Russian Revolution between his ultra-nationalist army and the government, and recruited Makarov into being one of his 4 horsemen. Obviously, this changed when 3 of the horsemen died during the events of Call of Duty 4, leaving Makarov as the sole survivor and the only one left to carry out their goal. Makarov likely thought the only way to do this was to stage an attack that would strike fear in the hearts of so many native Russians that all of Russia would declare war on America, and as you know, this was the attack on the airport in Moscow during the No Russian mission, renamed after Imran Zakhaev himself, by the way. The plan was to stage the attack to make it seem like Americans did it, hence why he said No Russian, which for those who may still be confused, he meant this by saying no speaking in Russian, English only. The plan worked. Russia declared war on America, and the next step was to let America and Russia, with all of their allies, tear each other apart so that once the governments of these nations were crippled, he can step in and take control of them all with the ultra-nationalist party and re-establish the Soviet Union. And as a countermeasure, he also hijacked the Russian president's plane to kidnap him and force him to give him the nuclear launch codes and turn all of Europe into nothing but ashes, all so that Russia can move in and take over all of Europe. Even though his plan was the reunion of the Soviet Union, it sure seems like he didn't plan on stopping there. He probably planned on the whole world bowing before him and Russia, and the scariest part about this is he definitely would have had the resources to do it. He planned his mission very carefully and followed steps down to every small detail about it. And what's even scarier is that had it not been for Captain Price, Yuri, Team Metal of Delta Force with Sandman, Grinch, and Truck, he would have won, and eventually this led to his downfall and eventually his death. This is basically what happens when an extremely patriotic man takes things too far and creates an extremist mercenary army to burn down the entire world, including his home country so that he may take control himself. And now, with Modern Warfare 2022 running its course, and eventually Modern Warfare 3, we get to see where this new version of Makarov is willing to go. There was no line Makarov wasn't willing to draw. Nothing was off the tables for him, whether it be terrorist bombing, torture, manipulation, and tons of war crimes. Makarov was willing to do whatever was necessary to achieve his goal. In fact, it's even implied that Makarov may have been the one responsible for the Piccadilly attack in Modern Warfare 2019. And despite the evil nature and psychopathic tendencies he displays, I respect Makarov enough for committing to his plan and for being my favorite Call of Duty villain of all time. But anyway, I think that just about does it for this video. I plan on doing more Call of Duty character analysis videos since I've been wanting to do this one for quite some time now, so let me know which characters you would like me to do next on this channel. I have plans for doing videos analyzing the mindsets of Ghost, Price, Raul Menendez, David Mason, General Shepard, and a few other characters as well. So if you would like to see all that, or if you simply just enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I plan on doing a 1,000 subscribers special, so also give me ideas on what you guys would like to see. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Matrox Gaming out. Peace. Oh, and before I forget, guys, I forgot to mention in this video that I also recently became an ambassador for Super X Clothing. They're basically a clothing brand that makes superhero-inspired suits for cosplay and workout purposes, and although they're a bit pricey, the quality of their gear is well worth the price. If you're interested in checking them out, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below, and I'll also post my discount code here on screen and in the description, so if you want to grab any of their stuff, use my discount code and save yourself some money. I'll also list their social media pages here on screen and in the description below, so you can follow them and keep up with their newest projects. Thanks to Super X for sponsoring this video.